Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 4 of the Boston trip. Today's actually travel home day. I've had another little bit of a line. It's currently 11 a.m. Checkout is at 12. I'll do a proper sort of talk later on. I'm going to probably go and sit in the park and sort of discuss the trip, things that have been good, things that have been bad, if any. But no, it's now a bit of a mess because I've all packed up. Cases are all there. Bathroom is all clean and empty. And yeah, I'm going to head downstairs, leave the bags with the hotel staff. Surprise, surprise, guess where I'm going for breakfast? Cafe Bonjour. Go and get some breakfast. And then today, obviously, like I said, there isn't much I can do with the pass. Well, because the pass is non-existent anymore. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get breakfast, go to the park, probably go and try and see Beacon Hill. I also want to go into Macy's and I want to try and get a Mike's pastry as well, a cannoli or a lobster tail. So there's still quite a lot to do. The flight is at 8 p.m. tonight, so obviously it's 11 a.m. now, so I'll have to be at the airport probably around about 5. Again, I'm flying with Virgin Atlantic and I'll arrive in the morning in the UK. But no, I will stop waffling. This is the start of the end, and yeah, let's go. I know I saw one the other day, but this is obviously like the classic silver Cybertruck. How cool is that? I don't even think they're legal in the UK. I think I'm gonna head here straight after breakfast, considering how close by it is. But again, another beautiful day in Boston. Since I seem to be coming to Cafe Bonjour at such different times, I have no idea if there's going to be queues or not. So what do we think? Do we think it's going to be busy or not busy? I'm guessing probably busy. Surprise, surprise. It's busy. Although, to be honest, it doesn't look as bad as yesterday because they were queuing up all down the street. So for the last time, let's go and visit Cafe Bonjour. I think this is probably going to be the longest wait. Probably about 20 minutes, they said. But you know what? It's worth waiting for. I've been called about 15 minutes. I think I'm going to go with a full-size portion of Nutella French toast, and then I'm going to get a side of they call it Bonjour potatoes, because I don't think I can quite eat the smoked salmon one again and the French toast. This is breakfast today. Look at that. Wow. I'm full. I thought originally, shall I get more French toast? But I thought, first of all, I don't want diabetes. Second of all, I'll probably end up feeling full after the first few bites. So that was amazing. Last breakfast at Cafe Bonjour. If you're in Boston, make sure to check it out. Now it's time for the long-awaited look inside Macy's. Let's see how this compares to New York. One thing that is way more prevalent here is you can get literally anything. The shopping culture here is vastly different to back home. That's cool in the Fenway Park Green. I like that. I thought that would suit me. I'm going to pass on that one. You know what? Now I've put some different shorts on, I'm warming to it. This is a small. God, this is probably super boring, but I said I'd come on Macy's in the last day. That's a small. God, it looks a bit preppy, but you know what? I think I'm going to go for that. Well, the goods are secured. I ended up getting that Ralph Lauren shirt, and I got a Boston Red Sox hat as well in the Fenway Green. So I'm going to head to the park, and then I'll tell you a little bit about my thoughts on the trip, and then we'll probably head over to Beacon Hill and just potter around for a little bit. It's a sweltering day today in Boston, but I love how all these stalls come out. I mean, that's a cathedral, a church group, but how lovely is this? It's such a beautiful park. I mean, obviously this is Boston Common, but you've got some sort of yoga going on over there. It's just so pleasant, so pleasant. I thought because it's such a nice day, I may as well just put the cap on now. This is what I got. Fenway Green. What a pleasant last day. I've not had one day where it's been raining or spitting or... Just look at it. I think I have fallen in love with Boston. Very different to New York, but amazing nonetheless. So I haven't seen this before. This is in Boston Common. This is obviously the left side. I've been going on the right side near the frog pool. but it just keeps getting better and better. Look at that. I presume it looks like something to do with the war, but what a beautiful, beautiful day. Look at the skyline. It's just such a lovely, lovely city. It's not overly busy. I'll probably end up going under that tree and give my thoughts on Boston as a whole, even though you can probably already tell what my thoughts are, but this is what summer should be. Whereas in the UK, this sky would be absolutely grey and miserable. So, thoughts on the Boston trip. What do I think? Well, as I've said to you many, many times before, Boston is an absolutely wonderful place. It's not as hectic, and I'll be honest, there probably isn't as much to do as in New York. You know, in New York you've got Times Square, you've got Hudson Yards, you've got Central Park, you've got downtown, you've got sort of the Statue of Liberty, you've got Staten Island, you've got Brooklyn, you've got the Bronx. There's a whole load of things to do in New York. Boston is definitely a lot slower, a lot more calm, a lot more chill. Like I said, loads of green space, and I think, as sad as I am to go, I think this is the perfect amount of time. I would love to be able to come back and do a trip where I can head down to Nantucket and to Cape Cod, which is like the beachy area, which is supposed to be really good. I think there's a plane flying over at the minute. But overall, it's just been a wonderful, wonderful trip. And for a solo traveller, if you're a solo traveller, this is an amazing place to come, because loads of people are solo travelling. It's super walkable, super friendly. It's like all you could ever imagine as a solo traveller. And I've solo travelled to some places which are probably not as traveller friendly, you know, but Boston as a whole is really, really nice. There appears to be no sales tax as well, which is good, which is definitely cheaper than the UK. Yeah, the hotel's been amazing. Comfy beds. Hotels in general in this city are super expensive. Obviously I was in a prime location. In an ideal world, it could do with a little bit of a refurb, make it a bit more modern. It's a very old-fashioned American hotel, so it'd be nice if it had a little bit of an update. But as a whole, staff were really nice and really helpful, and yeah, the beds were super comfy, and that's what matters. So overall, super pleased. It's currently 1:15. I've probably got to be at the airport for about 5 p.m. Flight's at 8. So yeah, really, really happy overall. I'm probably going to sit in the park or head over to the public garden where I did the swan boat ride, and then I would love to be able to go and see Beacon Hill before I go, which is a nice spot. Yeah, and just chill. It's a lot more chilled than the other few vlogs because they've been so action-packed. I've got a lot packed in. You know, I've been to Fenway Park, I've been to the NFL, and I've also been to a lacrosse game. So I managed to get a lot in. But yeah, if you're coming here, definitely get the Go City Pass. And I think 4 or 5 days, and you know, that's a pretty sweet number. Just had a lovely little sit down over there by the monument, and strolling through Boston Common, and hopefully I'm going to be able to see Beacon Hill for the first time. If you don't know what Beacon Hill is, I'm pretty sure it's where it's like cobbled roads and things like that. So I'm going to head over there, and then probably head to the public garden. So that there is the public garden. Over there is Boston Common, and Beacon Hill is supposed to be just up there. But I think Beacon Hill actually starts pretty immediately. You can see it on the architecture and the cobble floors. You know what? When you think it can't get more beautiful, it's a bit like the North End, but more old-fashioned, I suppose is the term. Maybe I'll head into that Tate Bakery. I've seen those all over. Maybe get a last-minute sweet treat. How nice is that for a bookstore? A bookstore and a cafe. Such a pleasant place. It really, really is. Look at those streets up there. It's just such a nice place. I know I keep going on, but it's like everything you'd want from like a little American town. I mean, this just shows how expensive these places are. That's a little bit further up. That's $2.3 million. That apartment near the Charles River, 1.225 million. Look at that. It's a little cat cafe. So I'm right here and I'm gonna grab a drink, maybe a pastry from Tate Bakery and Cafe. Look at that, I think I'm gonna get one of those look delicious. Look at all that cake. I've gone for the hat backwards now. Now I'm inside. The food looks amazing. Look at those pastries. Such good food in this city, it's amazing. So I just got myself one of those raspberry cheesecakes and a San Pellegrino blood orange, and I'm going to take it to the public garden and eat it there because there's not a better place to eat it. It was pretty packed in there anyway. Cap's back on front because it's absolutely melting. The strap on the Macy's bag has broken, so now I'm gripping it like deer strength, and it had my cheesecake in, so I'm heading into the public garden and I'll probably eat it under a nice tree. Look at this raspberry and strawberry cheesecake, San Pellegrino in the glorious park. That is so fresh. It's like it's almost as refreshing as having like an ice lolly in the park. Really, really good. I'm gonna make my way back to the hotel. It's currently 2:15. Obviously the flight is not till 8 and I'd have to be at the airport till 5, but I'm going to, the bag is broken, so I'm going to pack this away in my suitcase, recharge a few of my batteries, and then I'll probably head out again as well. It is so hot. It's about 32 degrees Celsius. Seems to be a sculpture over there. Clearly they put some money into this this park, into Boston Common. I'm back on the front of Boston Common, which is where everything started. Oh my gosh, those birds flew right at me. Wow. But those stalls are still over there, and should only be 5-10 minutes until we're back at the hotel. That there is the trolley that I was on the other day. That was great. It was really cold on there as well. That's a lovely view of the state capitol. Ignore the pigeons. They're all having a good old time there. But really, really nice view. I just picked up another memento. For all of the states I've been, I've always got one of these and I always stick it on my wall. Those are always a really, really good souvenir. You know, just before I get back to the hotel, it would be very selfish not to just have a final look in TJ Maxx. This is a different one to the one I went on Newbury Street, but I'll see if there's anything in here. Probably won't be, but we can only check. Because I'm starting to look more American as the day goes on. But this is the t-shirt I'm looking at. I just want something that's really good quality. Good neck. For $12, that's a pretty good deal. This is the other one. Green, actually matches the green on the cap. Same brand. Again, for $12. So I've been in the hotel for probably about an hour. I think the heat got to me. I was getting really, really tired and just like, so I've edited a little bit of the video from today. This is where I am waiting, in like the area behind the reception. I'm gonna call an Uber in probably 15 to 20 minutes to take me to the airport. But no, it's been a really good trip, but I'm sort of ready to get in the lounge and head on the plane. That was very nice. I just had the guy from reception come up to me and just say, there's something about you, like style, quality, or you've got a good personality. I'm like, thank you, that is actually very nice. And I said, I'm on YouTube, so if you want to watch me there. But it's little things can make people's day, and that was a lovely, lovely thing to say. But no, like I said, I'm going to order the Uber and then hopefully get there around about 3 hours before. Going past the Quincy Market for the last time. Well, that isn't Quincy Market, but behind it, it is. Gonna miss that view. Made it, just got dropped off. It's currently 5:15, flight to 8, plenty of time. Hopefully check in. No line at security, and then we'll head to the Delta Sky Club, which is the lounge I can use over in Boston. I'll tell you something though, the rideshare is very, very far away from the actual terminal, and somebody is doing my pet peeve and not moving. They're redeeming themselves, though they moved over. But no, it's probably about a 5-minute walk. They're giving a full-on speech now about welcome to Boston. Unfortunately, I'm heading the other way. Very, very sad to be leaving, but like everything, all good things must come to an end. Look at all those flags. I like that. Oh, there we are. England next to America. So this is the queue for, in fact there's no queue for economy, and upper class and premium is there. There's actually more of a queue, it looks like, oh maybe I'm wrong. Every single premium, upper and economy is all empty. Just checked in, and the lady at check-in told me that Simon Pegg, he's actually not on my flight, but he's on the Delta flight to London, so maybe he'll be in the lounge, who knows. God, the line for everybody else is absolutely huge, and there is no line for class. That's my line. That's the main. So all through security, this is the duty free, and I have access to the Delta One and Delta Sky Club lounge. I'm not sure which is the best, but we'll soon find out. So you've got to come up these stairs, not very well signposted, and here is the Delta One lounge and the Delta Sky Club lounge. Here it is. It looks like it's in the same place. So it turns out Delta One is like the premier place you can go. It's right next to Sky Club, but I think you've got to specifically be upper class or the equivalent in Delta. But it's a full sit-down, like restaurant vibes, and then apparently you go in Sky Club to sort of chill. But look at this now. Look, this is the menu. Look at the vibe in here. It's like a full-scale restaurant. How cool is this for the reserve spirits? This is like the extra section. You can either pay for it in dollars or pay for it in miles. I'm honestly blown away by this. They just brought hot bread and butter. It's more sit-down than the Clubhouse in London. Apparently it just opened in December 24. This is like a real first-class experience. I'm tempted. Do I go for the lobster roll or the Wagyu flank steak? I'm honestly absolutely blown away. Look at the bar over there. Wow, 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 wow. And that bread and that butter is amazing. So, little update, I actually just saw Simon Pegg at the bar. He was there. On top of that, I was able to order more than one of the courses. So I've ordered the steak, Wagyu steak, and the lobster roll, and I paired it with this, which is a Pinot Noir. Now, if you don't know me, I don't really drink, but I thought, when in Boston, why not? How the hell is that lounge food? Oh my gosh, that looks absolutely incredible. Medium rare Wagyu steak in a lounge. I may not have managed to get a cannoli in Boston, but I'm sure as hell taking advantage now. That Delta #1 lounge, unbelievable. I've got to be really quiet, feels really awkward vlogging here, but what an amazing, amazing experience. Special shout out to Tarzan, who was my server. The food was top notch, it was like restaurant quality. There was not really a cap on how much you could have. Really, really, really impressed, to be honest. Food-wise, that overtakes the Clubhouse in London, I must say. But now I'm going to head into the Sky Club and have a little bit of a rest, and boarding starts in 45 minutes. So this here is still part of the One Lounge, but the actual Sky Club is in here. So this is more of a buffet and bar style as opposed to a sit down. So just so you know, this is what the food looks like in the Sky Club. Still absolutely lovely. Really, really nice. So a little bit of an update. Now I am in somewhere that is a little less in everybody's way. That lounge, like I said, was unbelievable. The food was impeccable. The service was, you know, out of this world. Everything was just truly, truly wonderful. I've never been in a lounge quite like it. It's like walking through a Michelin star restaurant before you board the plane, and then after you go in there, you come in the, obviously where I showed you before, the Sky Club, and it's more of a sit back, relax kind of vibe. So no, really, really, really impressed. I've always heard that Delta lounges are nowhere near as good as Virgin clubhouses. But that is one of only 3 apparently in the US as of time of filming. I think he said it was LA, New York and Boston all have a #1 lounge. But this is just great. What a lovely, lovely end to the trip. And it was cool to be able to see Simon Pegg from Mission Impossible. He was sat at the bar as well. But no, I'm probably just going to get a soft drink in here. And yeah, just do a bit of editing before we board the flight. I'm definitely not going to eat on the flight now because I'm absolutely full to the brim, but that means I have more time sleeping. I mean, it just gets better and better. Like, this is one of the best kept airport places I've ever seen. You go into the bathroom and they give you deodorant. It's all impeccably clean. There's like leather on the door handles. This is one hell of a place to come if you're in Boston and you're flying upper. Come here. This is where I'm doing the editing. Not a bad spot. And then behind is where all the planes are. Well, thank you Delta Sky Club and Delta One. All finished. Time to get on the plane. Here we are, back out in duty free. I've spent enough money on this trip. So again, we're dodging that. And I think just over there, you should be able to see in the distance, just up there, the Virgin tailgate. There's an Emirates and a British Airways there. But hopefully, should be quite smooth sailing. Here we are, gate E14. All ready for boarding. It says we're on Jane Air is the plane name. Also, I'm in seat 1K again. If you can get the best seat in the house, why change it?
1K, yeah, window seat right at the very front.
Hello. And here we are again. Look at this, we've got a little first-hand look into the cockpit. How lucky. This is of the new plane. Wow. This is definitely a much busier flight, that is for sure. It's basically full, bar one in upper class. But I just wanted to show you what is on the menu. This here is your, hopefully you can see, your sort of starter, mains, desserts. The big difference that you have here is if I go just here, you've got a breakfast section in the morning, and then you've got this separate piece of paper which is where you can sort of pre-select at the start of the flight and you hand that to the flight attendants. Like I said, not going to eat on this flight, but looks like a lovely menu today. Also, how lucky was I was able to go in the cockpit. The senior first officer was really lovely, but no, it was really cool to see that. But yeah, I'm probably not going to film the takeoff because it's dark, you won't see anything, and you've seen it before. But I will check in with the camera when we're in the air, and I'm making my bed. So we're in the air. I've immediately made my bed, so that looks all nice and cozy. About 6 hours of the flight. Gonna skip the food, get my pajamas on, and head to bed. But that extra legroom down there is wonderful, absolutely amazing. So I'm all in my pajamas. I'm going to head to sleep, and I will see you all in the morning. Well, good morning everybody. I've had around about 3.5 hours sleep, 4 hours sleep. We're about 50 minutes away. I'm going to get changed to go into the Revivals Lounge in Heathrow. But no, lovely flight, not much turbulence. But at this point, I'm just ready to get home. Looks like we're just coming over the Midlands. About 13 minutes until we land. What a lovely day in the UK, and that's not usually said. Looks beautiful. And just about to put the wheels down. All the British Airways planes, and we are very down. Oh, now we're down. Well, skip ahead just a little bit and we made it back. Baggage reclaim, hopefully it doesn't take too long. We are nearing the end of the vlog, but what I will do before we end is I will take you into the Revivals Lounge. I think I've shown it before. I'm going to have a shower, going to have some breakfast, and then that's it. That is the Boston trip over, but really, really lovely flight. Captain was amazing, kept coming out and telling everybody what was going on, which is all a lovely day. Oh, we've got a crying baby in the background. But no, everything's been amazing. Hopefully get the bags really quickly, and we'll go from there. We're moving. The baggage is coming out. How quick do you think it'll take for mine? Such a donut. I read Boston on one of the things, and I thought it was my flight, but that was somebody else's. I thought it was a very empty baggage thing, but I can already see my bag, and it was the carousel right next door. Here we go. Finally. So when you exit, you want to follow this sign up here, Virgin Atlantic and Delta. You go down here to the left, and right down there you get in an elevator up, and this is where we go. Virgin Atlantic Revivals, 5 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So just a quick one over the copyrighted music. This is your shower and toilet space. Rainfall shower, well, kind of. Toilet, there's a little wardrobe there you can put your stuff in. I'm going to have a shower and then get some breakfast. All freshened up. That was a very nice shower. I'm going to head in there, get some breakfast. It is a lot more intimate in there in the sense that it's a lot smaller, so it's very, very difficult to film, but I'll try and do my absolute best. But yeah, that feels so good after a long flight. Let's go and get some breakfast. So this here is the Revivals Lounge. It has a very similar atmosphere to the main clubhouse. And again, you just scan here and you order your breakfast. So I'm just going to put on the screen now what the menu looks like in here. Again, it's a very comprehensive menu. You can get as much or as little as you want. But yeah, like I said, it's super quiet in here, so it's really awkward to vlog. But I'm going to probably get maybe some eggs royale and then some cereal, and that should just about do me. That here as well, you order this on the app, on the website rather, but this is the cereal and the pastries. This is how they bring the cereal in here. Even the cereal they present really well. This here is the eggs royale. Looks pretty tasty as well. So that is it. That is the end of the trip. I know I didn't film much in there, but like I said, it was very quiet and secluded. But no, it's been an amazing trip. I've absolutely loved Boston. It's been memories that I will not forget. And I do miss Cafe Bonjour just as much as you probably think. But no, thank you ever so much for sticking along. I know I've not posted in a while. Yeah, I'm sure there will be more travels in the future, but who knows. Look, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.